This is Joan Conover, and this is the 7 Seas Cruising Association Best Practices Electronic Charts New Features with Aqua Maps. You will be speaking with Claudia Bao, Head of iOS Development, GEC Aqua Maps. We're going to highlight, or they are going to highlight the new functionality in marine forecasts, review new features, describe estuary currents, review why electronic charts with plotters are critical, provide some lessons learned, and their website, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, is www.globalaquamaps.com. Aqua Maps is the most advanced navigation app. I use it, members use it. It's an extremely valuable tool to run on your iOS or your tablet. It's an application. They have the most recent updated charts with unique data, a viewer. And again, it's www.aquamaps.com. Now I'm going to stop the share and turn this over to Claudia at this time. Claudio?
Hi,
And
nice to meet you. And thanks for introducing me. I'm Claudio Bo, and head of the iOS department, and this is Pietro Ferri, our marketing expert.
Hi.
We belong to the GEC company that we name Jack. That is the company that produced Aqua Map. In our company, we have a big expertise about navigation, electronic charts, and mobile development. Everything that we put together to create Aqua Map, that is an app that we dedicated to the boater and their needs. In this webinar, we will describe quickly the main functionality of the app with a quite short video, and then we will go in deep on a new functionality that we added a few days ago that is named Marine Forecast, and that will be described in detail. Later, there will be a live question and answer section in which we will answer to everything you are interested about Aqua Map and the new functionality or whatever you are interested in. So I think that now it's time to start with the first video. So if John, you can start it, we can go for it.
Hi everyone, I'm Pietro Ferri of the Aqua Map team, and today we are here for this third webinar with 7 Seas Cruising Association. In this webinar we will have a first part with a quick overview of the app and a second part where we are going to see more in detail our brand new marine forecast functionality. So let's now proceed with the first part. As probably many of you already know, Aqua Map is a mobile app for marine navigation for both iOS and Android devices. We use only official charts from hydrographic institutes all around the world, so only official data. Now we are going to see all the function we can access through the starting view of the app. Sorry. Let's start with the bottom left download button. Tapping this button, you will access the grid of downloadable tiles. As you can see, we have the green tiles that are the tiles we have already downloaded, and transparent tiles that we can download. Tapping on a tile, the tile will become blue, and tapping again on start button will start the download for this tile. The rec button is the button to start recording a new track. Tapping again this button, you can pause the track, stop and save the track, or stop and delete the track. The top left button is the GPS one. Tapping on this button, the map will center on your current position. I don't tap it now because otherwise the map will jump in Italy, my current position. So we can proceed with the search button on top right. Tapping this button will access the search section of the app, where you can search every place all around the world, as well as point of interest based on your filters. And you can also search between your personal user data, so markers, routes and tracks. This button will allow the user to take a picture and save it on the map attached to a georeferenced marker. Then we have the distance tool. You can use this tool to zoom in and zoom out just tapping on plus or minus. And you can also long press on the ruler to display it on the map and measure distances on the map. This one is the marine forecast dedicated section, but as I have already said, we will see more in detail later in the second part of the webinar. Last but not least, we have the main settings menu of the app. This is very important because here we have most of the function we have in Aqua Map. This way to see the menu is something new, and this view is currently available only for iOS devices, so only for iOS tablets. In the first part of the settings menu, we have the help section and the my boat section. The my boat dedicated page is a page where the user can set all the information on his boat, such as the boat image, the boat name, captain name, how to display the boat on the map. You can choose the color, the size, and every information you can set on your boat. This first group of items allow to select all the data to be added on the screen on the map, and here you can also access the Aqua Map store to see to consult the list of all purchasable subscription. Next is the section dedicated to Aqua Map Master subscription. Aqua Map Master is an additional purchasable subscription to add a set of advanced functionalities to the app. We have already talked about Aqua Map Master in last year webinar, so I suggest you to look for the video of the webinar in Aqua Map official YouTube channel, as well as Seven Seas Cruising Association official YouTube channel. So we can proceed with the settings menu. Here we can set the safety depth value to change the way how the map is drawn. Anchor alarm is a quite advanced function with different ways to capture your anchor position. we have 3 different alarms: distance alarm, low battery alarm, and bad GPS alarm. Each alarm has its own settings. I suggest you to look for the dedicated Anchor alarm tutorial in our official YouTube channel. Next one is the dedicated section to the communities. We have first the Jack account. You can create your personal Jack account in our website and use it to save your navigation, to archive your navigational data, as well as to transfer your purchases between multiple devices. These 2 items allow the user to overlay on the map information from Active Captain and Waterway Guide communities. And then we have live sharing. Live sharing is a quite new functionality available in Aqua Map since last year. Enabling the live sharing, you will be able to display on the map all the active users of Aqua Map community. As you can see, we have the avatar displayed on the map. And tapping on the avatar, you can also access the dedicated page for that user, and you can also start a direct chat to ask everything you need for your navigation. In the last part of the settings menu, we have a list of items to set everything related to the map and how the map is represented on the screen. As already mentioned, this is just a quick overview of the app. I suggest you to see all the tutorials we have on our official YouTube channel. You can consult all the information you need in our website, and we can contact us for further information, and we are available to explain you everything you need. So that's all for this first part of the webinar. Thank you for your attention. I apologize for my English, and let's proceed with the second part to see more in detail the brand new marine forecast functionality.
Hello, now we will show the new marine forecast feature. To implement this feature, there was a big work in the background, and in particular we had to select the different model for weather forecast and implement on the server side all the processes to download the data from this server and each hour update the forecasted data. So we can see in these slides the model that we are using for the different kind of data that you will see in the app. For currents, we have the RTOFS that cover all the world feature, ocean currents, with a resolution of around 25 kilometers, and it is updated every 6 hours. For the Arctic area, we have a better model with a resolution of 5 kilometers. But a very interesting part is the estuarines currents that we found in 15 areas in US that have a resolution also of 400 meters, so very detailed data. Regarding the wind, we use the GFS data worldwide and the HRRR model for the US that has a better resolution of 3 kilometers. And for waves, we have the GFS, again with the 25 kilometers resolution in worldwide, and in US, the NTFT model with 3 kilometers of resolution. Going to the application, you can see that the main menu of the weather can be activated here, and you can select between current, winds and waves. If you switch on currents, you can see that the map is filled with arrows. Each arrow represents the intensity of the current in that area. We have the intensity given by the sides of the arrow and also by the color from light blue to purple. You have a legend here that can be used to map colors and intensity value. Of course, the arrows are drawn in the direction of the current. A similar representation is for wind. We used an arrow more typically used for wind with the barbs. Each barb is 5 knots of intensity, but also here we use the color and the sides of the arrow to give a better idea of the speed of the wind. For waves, it was more difficult to find a good representation, but we selected at the end this symbol that evocate the waves, and also here the sides and the color give an immediately idea of the height of the wave. Let's go back to the current. I want to show an example of estuarine data. For example, I'm going here in Norfolk, and you see we have estuarine currents with a better detail. Here we have a very detailed resolution. Okay. When you tap on an arrow, for example, of the current, you have information regarding the specific point, surface current, direction, and the speed used, and the temperature in that point. Another feature is the simulation of the forecasted data. For example, pressing this play button, you open a menu with possibility to go ahead of an hour or moving a slider, and you can see the data with the prevision in the next 42 hours. This is for all the data, wind, current and wave. Going to the setting menu, we have a menu dedicated to the marine forecast. Let us see what we can do. We have the choice of the type of weather that we want to analyze. It is the same that can be done with this weather menu that we saw before. Then we have the kind of representation that we prefer. For example, we have seen the symbolic representation, but we have also a heat map representation of the intensity of wind, currents and waves, or we can also see the numeric value associated to the data that we are looking for example here again the currents. Then we can customize the size of the symbol as we prefer, or we can also decide to change the density of the symbols on the screen to see a more filled screen or a more clean screen according to our preferences. Another customizable thing is to switch on and off the legend. Once we know the mapping, probably it is more useful to switch off the legend. Till now we saw the function for the weather distributed on the map, but we also implemented punctual information for weather in a point. If you click in a specific point in the map, you can go to the information of the point, and in this information we added the weather information. So the type of if it is cloudy or clear the sky, the wind, and temperature in that point. Not only, if we go in the detail of the weather, we have all the information of the situation in a specific time now, and then we have the forecast for the next 24 hours and the forecast daily of the next week. Here we have pressure, visibility. In reality we have two different services. One is the US and the FD, and for Europe we have the open weather service. In addition, for US only, where the data are available, we have the NOAA text bulletin for marine forecast. In each area we associate the correct bulletin, and you can see it in the NOAA format in your application directly. The last feature that I want to show is the integration of marine forecast with the Route Explorer data. If you select a track or a route to be navigated, you can open the Route Explorer. Route Explorer show all the waypoint and information, and also marinas and other important points you meet along the route. And if you are in navigation mode, or if you set a date for starting your trip, you will receive the weather that you will find at each waypoint during your navigation, with information about temperature, wind, and the kind of weather that you will find. So you can have a forecast of the weather along your route. Okay, with this we have seen all the functions that in a quick overview can demonstrate the weather functionality. I hope you will enjoy it, and we are here available for questions at the end of this presentation. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
iOS. Just
Yeah,
excellent. Now, do we have a question in the question box from
Well,
Jason?
at the moment, we don't have any open question in the. There is one. Okay, sorry. From Jason. Yeah. At the moment, just one point, John. Could you put us on the center? Sorry, I don't see it. Sorry. Okay, forget me. Regarding the question of Jason that is asking if it's possible to save the data, at the moment it's not possible because we access the data to a server because data change very frequently and our server continuously update interrogating the server from NOAA or other sources. So at the moment it is not possible to store the data to be used without mobile, without internet access. It's something that we are thinking about, but at the moment it's not possible.
Okay, thank you very much for that. You've answered that live. Again, I apologize. I will send out the link to the video to everyone who's attended. And I'll use the video and rebuild the presentation for YouTube.
Okay, there is any other question coming from the people that followed the seminar?
Now we've got quite a few on YouTube, and then we have the participants here. A lot of our membership really appreciate that they have a significant discount on some of the products for Aqua Map. And now the basic application that you have is downloadable, and then you pay a subscription for the maps. Is that correct?
This is correct. I mean, we have subscription for most of the country in the world. Just for US and Canada, there is the option to buy our charts in what we call forever. It costs more, but then you have the right to download and update our chart forever.
And you also have it by a yearly basis. And you also have an additional subscription level for the app. The basic app, though, as I understand it, is you just download it, and what you're paying for is the map with the basic app, correct?
Yeah, I mean, in the basic app, the app is free, and you have some functionality that you don't have to pay anything, like anchor alarm, like live sharing, tide and currents, and things like this. For the maps, you can download in US one tile at a time, always for free, so without paying anything. Then there is some subscription if you want to download more tile offline at the same time. And for example, the whole US is $99.99. And then there is a set of special function that we call master, in which you have US Army Corps of Engineer overlay, you have Route Explorer, you have US Coast Guard list of flight, you have Marine Forecast, you have an external NMEA and AIS connection. So, I mean, there is a next step in the application, and this is a subscription that we call Master. And that give you everything substantially is available in the app.
And we have from Alan Bradley, any chance of Mexico charts besides blue latitude?
Well, at the moment, not, meaning that we have not any source available for this area except blue latitude. We are always looking for new sources. But at the moment, we don't have anything coming soon on this area, except what we already have, that is blue latitude.
Question from Alan, Navonics up here, no.
Well, I think that they know the answer. So anyway, the answer is no.
Now, anonymous attendee said, if you buy the download chart forever, does that allow updates?
Yes, forever. Well, forever is a long time, I understand, but you don't need any further subscription. So you buy the US, or the US and Canada are the only two areas in the world that we can do this. And the reason is that all the other areas in the world, we have to pay annual fees to the geographic offices. Luckily, this is not true in US. So we have this option of forever. So you buy, pay once, and then forever you can download and update with the last updated available charts.
Also for the Bahamas, we have the forever.
Yeah, so correct, right.
Yeah, you've got for the Bahamas. I do know that Ann Lloyd, when she was talking her circumnavigation, said that she used Aqua Maps all the way across the Pacific because there's problems with maps in the Pacific, but that worked for her very well, going across the Pacific. I mean, she did a circumnavigation. That's what she used, was Aqua Maps as a chart plotter. And also, you download the maps to your device, and then even if you're away from the internet for updating things, you update before you leave, and that data is good while you're traveling.
Yeah, I mean, and recently we also had an option to automatically update your maps, even if the device is in background. I mean, just having the app running, we automatically update everything on the device.
Yeah, Jason just made a wonderful comment. The map is great.
Really nice.
We use so many of the functions. Jason, weren't you just in the Bahamas? I think he was just in the Bahamas.
Yeah, probably yes.
And
yeah, we are in contact with Jason in these days, so yeah.
Well, if it is on the live sharing, we can see on the map.
Yes. Oh, that's
I don't know if Jason, do you have live sharing switched on?
We'll switch on now.
He also mentioned the discount for SSCA, and that it is a considerable discount. Thank you very much for that.
No, the US package does not include the Bahamas, and I need Giorgio, that unfortunately is sick, for Turks and Caicos. I'm not sure it's part of US. Do you know? Okay. Rico Artemia said yes. Also, Turks and Caicos are part of the US. Bahamas not. You have to buy a separate package.
Yeah, but there's also a new chart out with.
I can jump in if you like.
Oh, hi, Giorgio.
Yeah.
Hi, Giorgio.
Hi. Yes, Turk and Caicos are part of the Bahamas package, not of the US package.
Oh, here we have, and that was also answered. Bob Sensi asked, does US mapping include Bahamas, Turks, and Caicos? And I think you just answered that as that's a separate package.
Yeah, it's included into the Bahamas product. Turk and Caicos is included, not in the US product. Obviously, Turk and Caicos are much south of the last part of the Bahamas.
And the really important thing about the Bahamas package, you have the currents there too. So getting to the Bahamas and seeing the most recent updates, really important. We have another question here. David Smith says.
Second, that I check with my Android expert. No, he answered no. You cannot store on the micro SD card at the moment. Do you think we will do it? Okay, they said that there are problems of encrypting our chart on the external maps. It's a problem of keeping safe what you download, meaning that if you put plain on the SD, then you can move the SD on another device and use it And that's hydrographic office does not allow us. We have to keep control on the data that we send away.
And here again from Jason, live sharing is.
Yeah, what is the name of JSON board? I'm not sure. Let me see.
He says live sharing is on. Closest boat live sharing is 259 feet from him. And the boat's name is Bree. They are new SSCA Commodores, by the way. Lots of cruisers using Aqua Maps in the Bahamas. And I'm sure with the new chart books that you helped put together with Waterway Guide, it's been.
Here we are.
Yes.
Metti il.
Ma non abbiamo la tile.
Porta. Scarichiamo.
And here again, anonymous attendee.
I'm just downloading the area where Jason is.
We have another question from
Coming. Oh, sorry. Which is the question?
They ask if the question.
The currents. I mean, we have tide and currents in the device. So let me show just 1 second. I move away from JSON. We have tide and currents in the device. Like for example, here in Miami, these are the currents, and these are offline. So means that you can access anytime, as you want. The currents that we show on the marine forecast. Sorry. The currents that we show on the marine, this one are online. So this one you cannot have unless you have an internet connection.
So they ask, yeah, the current features work offline or do you need internet? And you ask for that to work. Do you download the file and then it's only good for a short time?
This data, the one that is part of the marine forecast, is online. So you need to have internet to see it. The currents that are part of our current station coming from the tide and current station, these one are not online. These are offline.
So those are downloaded to your box.
Yeah, are part of the package of the app. You get from the beginning, even if you download any maps. This one. Any other question?
No,
Yep, I think that was the question.
Okay. Here is the JSON bot that you were saying. No.
Jason says we do all our route planning on Aqua Map and then put them on our Ray Marine Axiom SD card. It's so much easier on Aqua Map on the iPad and then doing it on the computer.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
So that's a good workaround. How much is the SSCA discount? I think it is 25%.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Of the map, that's mainly the map data. I'm not sure on the app part. I think that's newer, but it is a good discount.
Well, there is a question about the predict wind. No, we do not interface at the moment the predict wind devices.
Yeah, they're kind of a different platform. They're a different platform for offshore, and they're doing much more in the model areas. They're not really a chart plotter, but they have a tremendous amount of information and future weather model data, and you can have different models. And of course, Iridium Go is not internet. It's more text-based or email. So it's a different interface.
Yeah, I mean, about the external devices that we interface, we use an EMEA 0183. So if you have a network on the boat with devices, and then you have a bridge that sends via Wi-Fi, then you can connect Aqua Map with your devices. So you can use the GPS, if you have a dedicated GPS on the boat, you can use, you can see the wind, you can see the depth of your depth sounder, and you can see this information overlaid on the Aqua Map display. But that's the only devices, only if they go through the NMEA 0183, we can interface them.
I guess you could say, Claudio, that this is a chart, kind of a chart plotter implementation. Most chart plotters don't have an interface to the internet, or if they do, it's not a dynamic one. So this is dynamic when you're close enough to get the information from the internet or Wi-Fi, and then you would have the better ability once you arrive where you go offshore. You can still use your maps and stuff. You can come in, but then you can download the data once you get to the internet again. Correct?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I see that there's also another question that is about what Jess was saying. And yes, you can connect a Vesper device sending AIS target using Wi-Fi together with the app. There is a dedicated section, switch un attimo sull'app. Sorry, 1 second. There is a dedicated section here. You can select the devices. These are all the devices that are pre-configured. And this is, for example, Vesper Marine, but in case you have a dedicated IP address or phone number, you can easily change. And we also interface Signal K. I don't know how many of you have a Signal K device, but we also interface these protocol. So done this, you have all your target, your AIS target on the map.
Oh, that's excellent. And Jason added another comment. We will likely take screenshots of wind and current data for the time we expect to be sailing without mobile. We do this with Predict Wind since we only have a Zoleo for satellite. That's a Iridium Go, like a Garmin InReach. He says we use the Vesper Cortex.
Yeah, I mean, you can, anyway, we have predefined the devices, but you can edit and change and put whatever you want as IP address and port. And then, as I said, we can receive all the information about AIS, GPS, depth, wind, and compass.
You know what I think I will do? You have several really good presentations on your Aqua Map YouTube site. And I could put the links with the video link with that and send out to everyone who's attended so they get that as well. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Just one point that we were quite fast in the explanation about marine forecast. We have special databases that, for what I know, is not available in any map for what we call estuarine areas. In the ocean, we have a resolution of something like 3 kilometer to 10 kilometer resolution, okay? But in the estuarine, we have data with 400 meter resolution. So here, the current information are extremely detailed and accurate, and this comes directly from the NOAA server. This is an example of an estuarine information. And so this is something that we really think is quite unique currently on this type of application.
And that is on the box. It's not, it's downloaded to the box, correct?
It's downloaded from online, yes.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I understand that, it could be useful to have also offline, but the problem is data change very frequently.
Yes.
These are forecasts. For example, the HRRR the model that we use for the wind is changed every hour, and that means that data become very easily obsolete, and that's the reason also why we does not allow to store the information, because could be misleading.
Well, you've got some tremendous safety aspects, and that's one of them. Not providing stale data. Does anyone else have any other questions? This has been, I love the application, the currents. And I'm going to see if anyone's got their hands raised up here. We don't see any hands raised, so I guess we are at an end. And thank you very much. It's been an excellent presentation. And again, I apologize. I will send out updated information to everyone who's attended, and we'll also put it on YouTube on the channels. But thank you very much.